Well, the beast is back and I've had a super mega sewing week this week. So let's have a look at all the fab things I've been making for my hold. And I've been putting the beast to the test on the embroidery front. So let's have a look what I've been making. Come on. Hi there, I'm Christine the Gemini Stitcher and welcome to my sewing space. Yes, the beast is back and I've been on fire with my sewing this week. I've made quite a few garments that I'm proud of, but yes, there's always one, isn't there? There's one that's gone really peak-tongue. But yeah, I can live with that. And I'll tell you about that in a bit. So, what have I been making this week in my sewing space? So I've been starting to sort out my summer wardrobe. Yes, it's that time of year. The sun's out, girls, and I've bit the bullet and put all my winter stuff away. Eek. Hope it doesn't go cold again next week, which it probably will do. And I'll be pulling it all back out again, won't I? But I've been trying to figure out the holes in my summer wardrobe. And there aren't that many, if I'm honest. But there's always something that we can sew, isn't there? I've realised that there's a lacking of smart stroke casual woven tops. This is a woven top. And it's the free pattern from Maison Fauve. Can't remember the name of it, I'll pop it at the bottom. But this is the sort of thing I'm talking about that you would wear instead of a t-shirt, but you don't want a big floaty blouse on. So I'm on the hunt, or I have been on the hunt for some inspiration of those type of patterns that I want to make. And we'll talk about those in a bit. But I've made a start on them. And the first one is the Rhapsody blouse and top from Love Notions Patterns. And here it is. Now, this fabric I think I either got from Bornellla or Lamaze, one of those two, and it's called Mr. Beardy. How fab is that? So I've made it in this beautiful fabric. Got it out of a metre, and the Rhapsody is quite a floaty top in this viscose, although you can make it in a more structured fabric as well. It's got a tie neck detail, and I've put the flutter sleeves on this one. What can I tell you about the Rhapsody? It comes in a 31-inch bust up to a 55-inch bust, so really good size range from Love Notions patterns. And with this pattern, there's 9 sleeve options, so you know you're going to get your bang for your buck with this one, aren't you? And it can also be a blouse or a dress. Now, I've made the blouse, I've made it twice. I've also made the dress once, but I'm not keen on it as a dress, if I'm honest. I prefer it as a blouse or top. So this is the latest one that I've added to my collection. And if you can get a top as stunning as that from a metre of fabric, it's definitely worth doing. So that was garment number 1 that I made. The next thing that I got on with was the So Different Paradise Found dress. Now, I got this as a gift box for my husband at Christmas, and it came with all the fabric and everything in it. Made that up, loved the pattern, so I wanted to make another one. And here it is. I've made this time in a linen viscose mix, and look at that fabric. Oh, how gorgeous is that? I got this from Sew Me Sunshine, and if it's still available, I'll put the link below. So the Paradise Found dress comes in a size 8 to 30. Now it is a limited edition dress and it's not available on their website at the moment to purchase as a pattern, unfortunately. But if you bought this box at Christmas and you've made the dress, then it will definitely work in a linen viscose mix. So I've just got the buttons to put on the back of this. It's gathered at the back and it has a button placket. And then the front has a nice V and then lovely French darts, which are always flattering on me anyway. And an A-line front on the skirt. And then I've shortened the sleeves this time because, yeah, they were a bit long last time, certainly for the spring and summer, but that's definitely going to be on rotation in my wardrobe this spring and summer. So then I went rogue. If you watched my summer holiday vlog from last week, one of the things that was on there was some amazing pink embroidered fabric with an embroidered border on it. And I wanted to make the SAUVIE sundress. But I hit a bump in the road when I laid it all out to cut the pattern out. Because I had to cut it across the grain, there just wasn't enough fabric to do what I wanted to do. I could have made the short version, but I've got 2 or 3 of those and I wanted the longer version of the SAUVIE. I put an image up there of it. Just couldn't get it out of it and I was gutted. But I came up with a plan B and I thought, right, if I can't do that, I need to coordinate it and do it as a cord with a top. But obviously, if I can't get a dress out of it, I'm not going to get the top and the pants out of this fabric. So I sort of cobbled together my own pattern. I've recently been making the PIETRA pants from Closet Core Patterns, but the PIETRAs have a pocket detail and a seam at the front and I didn't want all that detail. I liked the fit of them. I liked the waistband, the lack of a waistband at the top, that there was no elastic in the front, it was just in the back, but I didn't want the pocket detail or the seam. So I just stuck all the front pieces together and traced out a front leg piece from that, if you like. And then I made myself a simple pair of trousers that are pull-ons with the fuchsia fabric. So it had no waistband, a flat front, elastic in the back and just parallels with the lace at the bottom. So do you want to see what I made? I am so pleased with how these have turned out. Look at that poppy pink. So there's the waistband, or lack of waistband because it's just got a facing on the inside. And then it's all ruched at the back. And then there is my embroidery at the end of each leg. And they're one of those that look better on than off. So I'm going to do a little catwalk at the end of this vlog and then you can see me in all the garments that I'm super proud of and the one that I'm not. Watch this space. So they're the trousers. Not sure how much fabric I had, but I'm so chuffed with those. And then I wanted to make a top that would go with them. So I've been looking at this top. Well, I've had the pattern in my stash for absolutely yonks and decided it was time to bite the bullet and make the BYZANCE top from Maison Fauve. Now, look at that. I just want to say, look how well those two go together. They were made for each other. Both of these fabrics I got from Wasted Fabrics and I will pop the link below to it if you're interested in going having a nosy. So the BYZANCE has got, you can see, but it has pleat details on a V-neck back with a tie and pleat details on the front as well. And then it's just a simple top. And I loved every minute of making this. I love doing the pleats. The information on the Maison Fauve instructions was really good. And there's a sew along for it. It is in French, but mute the sound, follow the images. I picked some really good tips up, particularly when you're doing those pleats off that video as well. So well worth a watch. So yeah, I've got my top and I've got my matching pants. What a fab cord is that going to be for my hauls? So you'll see that in all its glory at the end, so stick around. So the BYZANCE top comes in a size 6, UK 6 up to a 24. As I said, it's got the V-neck pleat detail around the neck. If you're doing the top, you'd get it out of probably just over 1 metre of fabric, I think I used, and at least 2 metres if you're doing the dress. So I made the top with the plan of using it as a toile to see how that low neckline was at the back. It worked out well. I was worried I wouldn't be able to wear a bra and my boobs would be around my waist, but it just covers the bra strap on me at the back, even though it scoops down quite low, so perfecto. So happy with that set. Then I decided that I would try the dress version. Now the difference between the top and the dress is quite different. Now the dress and the top are on 2 separate bodice blocks, which should have set alarm bells off with me, but it didn't. I was in full Christine sewing, not thinking mode, obviously. So I thought, right, well, it's straight in my head. I'm going to go and I'm going to do the dress. So the V on the front of the BYZANCE dress is a little bit higher than the back. And I had this brainwave because the top, front and back pieces were virtually the same. It was just the V that was deeper. Silly me assumed that the dress was the same. And guess what? It's not. The big difference being that the front of the dress has some gathers in it and the back doesn't. But I merrily went on and cut 2 fronts out for the dress. Sewed it all together. Here it is. I made it in some pink check gingham as well. So there's a few issues with this dress. As a top, I think I would wear that, but I will put it on at the end and you can see that as a dress, I look like I'm a 5-year-old getting ready for school. And I just can't get that image out of my head. It's my school uniform dress. But it wasn't right anyway. Did all the pleats absolutely beautifully, really pleased with them. Never thought, carried on. Put the gathers in the front of the dress. And then when I came to try and fit the top to the bottom, the back top was bigger than the bottom and it was meant to fit. And it still didn't click with me. Don't know what planet I was on. So then I thought, oh, that's weird. I must have to put gathers in the back as well. So I did. I put the gathers in. I thought, oh, Pat must have forgot to tell me because I know better, don't I? Put the gathers in, sewed it all up. And it is sewed up, look. Only the hem to do. Thought, hang on a minute, there's meant to be elastic in the waist of this. This isn't sounding right. But I thought, before I do that, I'll try it on. And when I tried it on, yes, the V's were higher because that's what I wanted to achieve. But because I'd used the front for the back and it had the gathers in, oh, there was just too much fabric everywhere in the top. It was fabric flipping overload. The back was gaping, it was sticking out. I thought, and that's when the light dawned. Went back to the pattern, got the pattern pieces out. The back doesn't have any gathers in, does it? It's smaller than the front on the dress. So yes. And the skirt is like a circle skirt. I just, honestly, you'll see, I look like a toddler. Well, not a toddler, obviously. I look like a little girl. I just need some little white ankle socks and black patent leather shoes and a little school bag. And I'd love the part in my dreams. So, yeah. So now I need to think, what on earth am I going to do with this fabric? Because I do like it. It's a really nice feel to it. I might undo it. There's a lot of fabric in this skirt, so I might undo it and just make a top out of the bottom bit and accept that it's an expensive top. But never mind, never mind. It's a learning curve, girls, and we all make mistakes, and I seem to be making a fair few of them at the moment, don't I? So that was my epic fail. So that's what I've made this week, and I've not done too bad, have I? Not shabby at all, just one little bit of an epic fail with that BYZANCE dress. But you know what? I can live with that one. We all do it, don't we? Crazy lady. If there's a week where I don't make a silly mistake, it's a flipping miracle, I can tell you. So, what am I planning on doing next week? Well, time's ticking on. Holidays are looming. And I did my vlog saying what I wanted to make. So I'm chipping away at it. I've made the Paradise Found dress. I've used the pink fuchsia fabric up, which was meant to be the SAUVIE sundress, but now isn't. But I will probably use one of the other fabrics to do that. So what's my plan next week? Well, I said in that vlog that my priority was my swimwear. And for some strange reason, I went right off on a tangent and did other things. So next week, I'm reining myself in and I'm going to get 2 items of swimwear done, at least. Now, I've already got 2 of the Tilly and the Buns corally swimsuits made up, but they also do it as a bikini version. So I want to try and get 1 or 2 of the bikinis made up. And then I've also realised that I've got another swimsuit, and it's one of the Fibre Mood ones. It's called the Luca swimsuit, and there it is, and it's a very nice off the shoulder or one shoulder swimsuit. You can have it with or without the ruffle, and I want to give that a try as well this week. So it's swimsuit sewing this week. Wish me luck. And as well as that, I want to carry on with my machine embroidery and try and get up to date with those blocks. So yeah, I think that's more than enough for me to be doing on the sewing front. Now it's confession time, because I'm constantly saying that I am resisting buying fabrics, and every month I fail. And this month is no different. So I've got a few fabrics to show you, and then I'll feel better about it. I can get them washed, put into my stash. I was going to say forget about them, not forget about them, but let the guilt go and use the fabrics because they are beautiful. So let me grab them, and then we can have a chat about what to make with the fabrics that I've snaffled this month. So you know I'm always on the lookout for nice linens, and when I saw this next fabric, I just couldn't resist it. It's from Bornellla Fabrics, and if they've still got it again, as always, I will put the link below. But just look at that. I absolutely love that colour of blue. It suits my eyes, makes my eyes look blue instead of grey. And that pop of apple green is just, it's just to die for, isn't it? Oh, it's a viscose linen. It is a little bit possibly see-through-y. So I'm not sure I would use it for trousers. I was initially thinking shorts and tops co-ord set for my hauls, but when I brought everything out of my put my winter wardrobe away, pulled all the summer stuff out from their hiding place, I realised I've got quite a few little shorts co-ord sets for on hauls, and that's the only time I'd ever wear the shorts these days, so I'm winding my neck in on that one. And I'm now thinking I want to make a dress in it. I've got 2 meters of it. So if you've got any ideas for dresses, originally I was going to do the BYZANCE dress, but after my epic fail with it last week, I can't get out of my head now the image of a little schoolgirl. Whatever I wear, whatever fabric I use. So I've gone off that idea. Yeah, so hit me with your ideas for this one. I want something that's a nice casual summer dress that I will wear at home. The only option I've come up with is another one of the TRILIUM dresses from Made by Ray, and I think it would look quite nice as one of those. But if you've got a better pattern idea, hit me with it. So while I was on Bornellla, as well as that, well, that was the fabric that sucked me in, but then there's always something else, isn't there? You can't just buy one fabric. It's very, very rare I do that. And I got this, and it's a candy stripe pink stretch denim. Look at that. And I think it's going to look stunning as another pair of the Maison Fauve Hussard jeans. There's the Maison Fauve Hussards. I made them in a pinstripe navy and white last year, and I wore them loads, and I think some wider stripe pink ones and cream, or is it white? It's an off-white, will fit right into my wardrobe this year and get worn a lot, which is why we make things, isn't it? So that we actually wear them. So that's 2. Then I dragged Steph, kicking and screaming, not, to Little Legs Fabrics. It's about just over half an hour's drive for us, so we made a day of it. We went to Little Legs, and then we went round to Daisy Clough Garden Centre and Nurseries it's called, and they do lovely lunches there. So we went there, had a wander around the garden centre and lunch. What a lovely day out. Fabric, plants and food. Perfecto. So I was on the hunt for some jerseys because my jersey fabrics are quite depleted. And I picked a few up because Little Legs are amazing for their jerseys. It's what they're well known for. These are all, well, the first 2 are cotton jerseys, and then I've got a bamboo. So this one was the first one that I got. I went for a nice denim blue with abstract dots all over it. And I got 1.5 meters of that. The top that I want to make with this fabric is the curly top from Sew Over It. I've already made the dress version twice, and I quite like the idea of a short sleeved curly top in this. I haven't decided whether I'm doing it with the buttons on the front or just leaving it as an open placket yet. I think I'll decide that as I go along, but yeah, that's definitely what that's going to be. Then I was on the hunt for some plain fabric to go with the Pietra pants that I've recently made as part of my sew along, and bob back to that and have a look. But this is the fabric that I found that goes perfectly with the patterned Pietras that I made in a viscose linen for that capsule collection. This is a beautiful pale green and it's in a bamboo jersey, so it's lovely and soft. And I want to make a summer top to go with the Pietras. I may make another one of the MORIKO tops, which was part of the capsule collection that we're doing, but I don't know, the jury's out. But I'm happy with the colour of the fabric. It goes well with the Pietras. But yeah, let me know if you've got a top pattern that I can make that in that will make it a little bit different. It's quite plain, isn't it? So it needs a top with a bit of detailing that's a jersey. So let me know. And then, last but not least, I love this, absolutely love this fabric. I hummed and hawed about it and then thought, no, I'm having it. I got this. How beautiful is that? It's a cotton jersey, nice structure to it, and I want to make a dress in it. Now, as part of the capsule collection, we're up to doing the TEIFI cardigan from Itch to Stitch, and the sew along is next Saturday. Then the last one is always a sewing hack. And I'm going to try and make a dress out of the TEIFI cardigan pattern. Don't know if it's going to work. If it does work, it's going to be in this fabric. Oh, absolutely love it. So, that's all my fabrics. And I've got intention for most of them, so that's okay. You buy with intention, don't just buy because you love the fabric. It's all fine because you've got more chance of it actually being used. So there we go, all done. I feel like that was a mega vlog, but hopefully it won't be more than half an hour long. We will see. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend, or you've had a wonderful bank holiday weekend, and if you've been sewing, that you've got lots of it done. I will see you all next Saturday, and as I've already said, it's going to be the second part of the TEIFI cardigan, which is the sew along. So I hope to see you there, and I will pop links to all the sew alongs that have happened so far, just in case you want to go and have a nosy, in the list below. So see you all on Saturday and have a wonderful sewing week. Bye.